Hi, everybody. Just coming to you real quick to give you the latest updates that went through last night. You know, the House passed a bill last week. The Senate passed it last night. We're still waiting on President Trump to give it his signature, but that's fully expected in the next coming days. So it is called the Paycheck Protection Flexibility Act. We're simply going to call it the PPP Amendment, but it really addresses the PPP loan forgiveness, and really the time frame is one of the biggest changes. So I've just put together a screen here that is the highlight of those changes. There are only 6 changes, so there's not a whole lot of meat to the law, but you know, we're going to get more guidance as time goes on. And I just want to give you what is included in it, what we know about it, and again, of course, what we don't know about it yet. So starting out, the big change is you now have 8 weeks. Your 8 weeks is now turned to 24 weeks. You got 24 weeks to spend out your full amount that you were given in a loan. The requirement for 75% to be payroll is now dropped to 60%. However, there's a little catch to this. The way the law is written, that is a cliff. And what that means is you've got to spend 60% on payroll versus non-payroll costs, or none of it is forgiven. That's how it's written right now. We expect them to maybe clean that up. Again, I don't think that one really affects our audience of the home care and nursing homes, hospice agencies. You guys are really heavy payroll people. So labor is a big cost for you. Nobody's having a problem meeting that. Next, your FTE restoration is extended to 24 weeks, no later than 12/31. So basically anywhere where the date was 6/30 that you had to do certain things, that's now 12/31. Now it's 24 weeks or 12/31. So I feel like it's going to be the sooner, whichever happens first. 24 weeks or 12/31. Again, I don't think any of my clients are going to go that far in with their loans, so I don't think that's a big impact. This next one, I feel like it's a very big impact for our audience. Home health, hospice, nursing home, assisted living. 2 additional exemptions to the FTE and wage restoration. Okay, so right now it says you got to restore your FTE and you got to restore your wages to your pre-COVID levels by 6/30. Okay, well above it says 24 weeks or 12/31, so the time has been extended, but now they've added 2 more exemptions, meaning if you fit one of these 2, you don't even have to worry about getting your FTE all the way back up. So the first one is inability to find qualified employees. So if you can't find employees to fill those roles that you have open, then you're exempt from this penalty. It's not a penalty, from this haircut to your forgiveness. Secondly, the inability to restore business operations back to pre-COVID levels due to operation restrictions. Now, I expect some guidance to come out on this, because here's the question. Are they directing this towards like a restaurant where there's a government restricting their occupancy, so like government imposed restriction, or is it open to everybody for their purposes, such as home health is restricted because patients don't want them in the home, so their visit volume is down, or hospices because they're not allowed into the nursing facilities, so their volume is down. So I feel like my interpretation now is that's going to apply to all of those until they tell me otherwise. 2-year note, if you do leave part of your loan on that note and you don't get forgiveness, you can ask the bank to extend that to 5 years. So your 2-year note can be extended out to 5 years. You'll need bank approval. And then the payroll tax deferral option, there's this option out there to defer payroll taxes. However, there was an exclusion to that if you receive PPP loan. So that exclusion has been removed. If you got a PPP loan and you also want to take advantage of the payroll tax deferral, you now can utilize that option. So that's the rundown of the highlights of the changes that happened yesterday. There's not a whole lot of guidance out just yet. We're watching for it to come out as everybody, the governing bodies, as well as other professionals, start putting out their interpretations. We'll read through them. digest them, and get it out to you. I'm taking my guidance from the Journal of Accountancy today, and it's pretty much the only thing that I've found so far. So we'll be rolling this out to everybody. I always try to get information out to you as quick as possible. Even if we don't know everything, I want you to know at least what we know. So this is what we know as of now. Stay tuned for possible more webinars and more information coming out. Always follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn. We try to push everything out via those channels, as well as any recordings that I do always go up on our YouTube channel for Night CPA Group, and then you can always contact us directly as well. So stay tuned for more information. I appreciate you guys.